Hello, welcome everyone. Today is our tomatoes time. I'm gonna harvest our tomatoes even not ripe and not fully ripe. So how we can have a beautiful ripe tomatoes after of that. I'm gonna giving you tips and also an idea. So let's start for our today. We are here in outside of the in the house in our garden area. So I just want to show what kind of tomatoes that we harvest for our garden. So and also why we harvest this early. So if you saw this guys in my back, our tomatoes laying in the ground, so means it's not really hard good to keep the tomatoes in outside or in the plants longer, because you cannot get any good tomatoes if your tomatoes just only laying in the ground, especially there is any kind of bugs in here. And also our weather temperature, there is almost an hour, days, there is a changes. And also I just want to share you guys why we need to use this kind of box or a cardboard box, and then why we need to put newspaper. Anyway, we need to put the newspaper to keep the moisture absorbed, and make sure when you harvest the tomatoes, it's a dry time. You don't need it's not a good to harvest for example like a raining time. So it's better, or it's a good like there is a 1 or 2 days sunny time, and then you can harvest your tomatoes, so this will be good time. And also don't put the damage, or because not all the tomatoes is a good or healthy, so don't make sure tomatoes with a bad damage, so let's them separate into the good. And then also guys, don't forget, make sure that you can remove also the leaves of the tomatoes. Don't keep them together with your tomato fruit, so because it's not really good. And then also hope the green color, if you can harvest a green, means a not ripe tomatoes, just put it on bottom side. And also the next one is the color yellow, like turns a little bit of yellow. And then the top of all of them you can put the orange, like a tomatoes with a turns a little bit of orange. So because the orange color, like after 2 days, will be red orange, so means it will be ripe soon. And now we're putting our tomatoes in the cardboard box. So I just make sure that they don't have anything in there, so. And now guys, I'm gonna show our tomatoes, what kind of tomatoes that we get to our yard or our gardens, so you have an idea what looks like. So this is our tomatoes looks like. So instead, if you know what the color of the not ripe tomatoes, of course that color green, and now it turns a little bit of yellow. That means that even the seeds of this is like little orange, so means it's good to harvest. So that's really a good tomatoes you need to harvest if you wanted them to keep inside the house and to let them ripe inside the house. If you don't want them to like live in outside or in the plants until just waiting until ripe. So yeah, and this is all our tomatoes we get from our garden. So anyway, this is our first harvest today, and hopefully I can harvest 2 or 3 times. So our tomatoes, there is 3 varieties. There is a big huge tomatoes, and the other one is like a size of medium, and the other one like a small. So but I don't know, I forget the name of our tomatoes, because this is kind of 3 varieties. There is 3 names of there. And now I just tried to focus our tomatoes that we get today. So it looks like this. If you saw that guys, there is a color, the other one is like color green, but there is a turns a little bit of yellow, and the other one is like something yellow and turns little bit of orange. So it means all of them, it's really good to harvest if you want them to keep inside the house to keep for ripe tomatoes. So that's how you can get a beautiful ripe tomatoes. So harvesting early is not bad, especially that's if your tomatoes didn't have a pot, especially your tomatoes laying in the ground. Or also if you have like it depends for your place, the weather temperature, because changing temperature and every day is not good. So This is all our tomatoes. And also guys, if you saw this orange here, or the ripe tomatoes, these tomatoes heard, that's what I got like 3 days ago. So anyway, I just harvest this not ripe, and but anyway, we got a beautiful tomatoes, you know, after 3 days. So, and all of these tomatoes now in the box, you know, so I'm gonna keep this in the area where I'm gonna start waiting until ripe. And remember, don't cover your tomatoes, just leave them open so there is an access of the air. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully this idea will be helpful to you if you're looking at tomatoes idea.